final score from Arrowhead Stadium. Your Kansas City Chiefs 30. Those Jacksonville Kitty Cats, they got the cat scratch fever. With the number one defense in the National Football League. 30-14 Kansas City Chiefs. Was the number one offense versus the number one defense. Somebody must have told the Kansas City Chiefs defense that they weren't even talked about. Somebody must have told the Kansas City Chiefs defense that they're not important. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kansas City Chiefs defense came to play. Hell yeah! Kansas City Chiefs defense came to play. Let's break it down. Let's look at these freaking stats. Jacksonville came out, had 6 plays, punted. The Chiefs drove 5 plays, 75 yards. Patrick Mahomes runs in 4 yards for a touchdown, putting the Kansas City Chiefs up 7-0. Now let's see, what did the Jacksonville Jaguars do, baby? Jacksonville came out, went 5 plays and punted. The Chiefs then went 14 plays, 87 yards, 5-minute, 51-second drive. Butker puts the Chiefs up 10-0. Then Jacksonville puts together a long drive, baby. Let's look at this. Jacksonville had 13-play drive down to the Kansas City Chiefs 4-yard line. They had the ball for 5 minutes and 51 seconds, setting up 4th down and 2 at the 4. They went for it. Armani Watts made the play. Safety knocked the ball away. Huge. Kept the Jaguars not from only getting a touchdown, but they didn't even get a field goal. No respect for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Huge. Then the Chiefs started driving. 8 plays. Patrick Mahomes suffered his first ever interception. How did the Chiefs respond? The very next play, D Ford, sack, fumble. Now the Chiefs got the ball. 2 plays later, Kelsey hits. Mahomes hits Kelsey, taking it down to the 10. Chiefs had to settle for a field goal. So now it's 13-0. So then the very next play, Jacksonville Jaguars tried to set up a screen. Chris Jones intercepts that ball, makes a move on Bortles, touchdown, total control of the game. The Kansas City Chiefs up 20-0. At that time, Justin Houston left the game with a hamstring injury. He might have left a couple of plays before that, ladies and gentlemen. He might have left a couple of plays before that because of the fact that it was 13-0 when Houston left. I beg your pardon. Then the Chiefs are up 20-0. Now it's 20-0 in the second quarter. And the Chiefs really took control of the game at that point. Chiefs went into the halftime up 20-0 and basically just dominated the second half. Armani Watts suffered a hamstring injury. Eric Murray had a groin injury. Chris Jones was thrown out of the game on a field goal on the extra point attempt after Jacksonville scored a touchdown. You hate to see that. Chris Jones punched the leg of the center of the long snapper for Jacksonville. He was thrown out. Jacksonville ended up scoring a touchdown to pull within 30-7 after the Kansas City Chiefs had an early touchdown in the fourth quarter to take a lead 30-7. Jacksonville went down and scored. Then D Ford had a second unsportsmanlike conduct of the game. You hate to see that. He was thrown out. So now you had Breeland Speaks as your outside linebacker playing every snap. Tano Passanio playing all snap with Justin Houston being out for injury and D Ford kicked out of the game. Chris Jones was kicked out of the game. You had Jordan Lucas. You were down to your third string safety. With Jacksonville trying to make a play, Jordan Lucas made a sensational interception in the end zone. Was a pinball bouncing off defenders all the way to midfield. basically putting the game on ice. The Jaguars tried an onside kick. They got it. They got down to the 5-yard line. Chiefs stopped them on 4th down. As the game ends, Orlando Scandrick got his interception, chucked the ball into Arrowhead crowd. Chiefs win 30-14. For the second year in a row, the Kansas City Chiefs are 5-0. Let's celebrate it. Let's enjoy it because it's something to be extremely happy about. On a short week, this is what we need to grasp. This is what we need to eat and digest, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we need to think. The Chiefs had a short week. This was a tough game, and I'm not making any excuses for nobody. Patrick Mahomes threw his first 2 interceptions. He did run in for a touchdown, but he didn't throw any touchdowns. This was the number 1 defense in the National Football League. I know somebody say, hey, Shaggy, let's look at the Rams. This was the toughest all around because nobody was putting up points. Rams have gave up points to the Vikings and the Chargers. This team, Jacksonville, was the number 1 defense. So in a short week, the Chiefs in 6 days had to go at Denver and play a great game against a great defense. Had to come home on a short week 6 days later, play against the best defense of the National Football League, Jacksonville, and dominated. Well, not dominated, but came away with a good victory. They dominated for the most part of the first half, but this is something the Kansas City Chiefs fans should be happy about because of the fact that those 2 games were tough. On a short week, letdown was in effect. A lot of experts were picking Jacksonville to win this game. Jalen Ramsey talked a lot of smack. Tyreek Hill burned him on 1 play. For the most part, Jalen Ramsey was a non-factor. The Chiefs won 30-14 because of their defense, but as I mentioned, on a short week against the 2 great defenses, Denver and Jacksonville, the best 2 defense, in my opinion, in the AFC. Back-to-back on a short week. Be happy about this, ladies and gentlemen. Be happy about this. Now, all the experts and everybody for the whole week until the Chiefs play New England next Sunday night in prime time, the experts are going to be saying, how is this 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs team different than last year's 5-0 team? In my opinion, the Chiefs don't have Derek Johnson and Tom Bahali. They were getting long in the tooth. They're gone. The Chiefs do not have Marcus Peters as a cornerback. The Chiefs do not have on offense. The Chiefs don't have Alex Smith as their quarterback. When the Chiefs traded Marcus Peters, I was very unhappy. I was very unhappy. You saw, if you scroll back, you'll see how I felt. I went to Arrowhead Stadium and did a take on Marcus Peters being let go. But not one Kansas City Chiefs defensive player stood up for Marcus Peters. When Justin Houston did his press conference and training camp, they asked him, what does he think about this defense? He said, there's no selfish players on this Kansas City Chiefs defense. There's no me players on this Kansas City Chiefs defense. That spoke volumes. People will say, well, he wasn't slamming Marcus Peters. I'll say this. He wasn't sticking up for Marcus Peters either. Because when the Kansas City Chiefs lost the playoff game to the Tennessee Titans, the final play was a 1st down run where Frank Zombo got pancaked. After it was settled and the Tennessee Titans had the 1st down, Marcus Peters pushed a wide receiver of the Titans, and it was a personal foul penalty. So when Marcus Mariota was in a winning formation taking a knee, while Chiefs fans were exiting pissed off, I stood there and watched while the Titans took 2 knees to end the game. I stood there from my seat, 9 rows in the back of the end zone, and saw Justin Houston chewing out Marcus Peters. He was chewing him out, and Marcus Peters was standing there while Justin Houston was chewing him out. And I was like, come on, Justin, don't chew out Marcus Peters. The game's over. We lost our 6th straight home playoff loss. And as Marcus Peters ran off the field, the Chiefs fans were nervously excited underneath the tunnel, said, way to go, Marcus. Good game. Way to go. And Marcus Peters turned to that fan and said, great game. We're good. Where to go? We're going fucking home. Excuse my language. Am I picking on Marcus Peters? Hell no, because he was the best defensive back the Kansas City Chiefs have had in a long period of time. But this team doesn't have to deal with any bad vibes in the locker room. And Justin Houston not speaking up for Marcus Peters, saying there's no selfish players in this locker room, spoke volumes. I personally think they're a better team on the field with Marcus Peters, but they're a better team in the locker room without Marcus Peters. Now they're 5-0. Chiefs are 5-0 this time. Last year with Alex Smith, obviously it's a serious upgrade at quarterback with Patrick Mahomes. When Patrick Mahomes was throwing interceptions in training camp, Andy Reid was asked, what about all these interceptions? The first thing Andy Reid said about interceptions in training camp, we don't want a check down quarterback. We want a quarterback with the intestinal fortitude to throw it deep, to make plays. And Patrick Mahomes is not a check down quarterback. If people read between the lines, they say, well, he wasn't slamming Alex Smith. Come on, we're reading between the lines on what Justin Houston said, on what Andy Reid said, on the vibe Justin Houston said at training camp, on me watching Justin Houston chew Marcus Peters' ass out after the playoff loss. We're a better team on offense, and we're a better team in the locker room. The defense has to play consistent. The defense has to play consistent. They got to keep it up. D Ford is playing his ass off this season. That is something to be proud of. He's in a contract year. He wants to keep stepping up. He wants to keep making those plays because he's going to want to make that money. Justin Houston left this game in the first quarter with a hamstring injury. We don't know what that means going forward. Breland Speaks stepped up and was a factor. He wasn't Justin Houston, but he was a factor. He recovered the fumble that D Ford had when he sacked the quarterback. So Breland Speaks and Tano Passanio are going to get some serious reps if Justin Houston is gone for any significant time. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif snapped his fibula. I just watched Andy Reid's press conference. He said it is a snapped fibula, but he will not go on IR. He expects him back in a few weeks. While the snapped fibula takes some time to recuperate, it's still concerning. Jordan Devey is going to have to be playing right guard now. He played solidly as a depth in some spots last year. Jordan Devey played basically all of the Redskins game last year when Lawrence Duvernay-Tardif got hurt on the first play of the game. Jordan Devey stepped in and played a great game last year against the Redskins at right guard. So Jordan Devey is going to have to step up and play. But let's remember, Jordan Devey's also the backup center. So there's going to be some maneuvering going on with the Chiefs. Is there somebody out there? Can they move somebody up from the practice squad to fill in at right guard or backup center? Because we're going to need that going forward. 1 week from tonight in prime time, it is the New England Patriots. The Patriots know what we did to them last year. The Patriots know what we did to them when they were getting their Super Bowl rings. The Chiefs came in opening night and kicked their ass. So it's going to be a hell of a game on prime time. Here comes Kansas City Chiefs at New England. Let me tell you something, Patriots. You may have had 10 days to get ready. The Patriots played Thursday night. They've had 10 days to get ready for this game. But you know something? You're not going to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes in this Kansas City Chiefs offense. I have no doubt in my mind. Take it to the bank. Somebody bet me. This game will be 45-38. 45-38. Who you think's going to win? 45-38. I will talk to you about that prediction next Sunday night when we stay up late. Stay up late with Shaggyshane, and he'll break it down this post game. Patriots, we are coming. We are ready. You don't got a defense like Jacksonville, and you can't stop this offense at Kansas City because it's going to be a short drive to the countryside. Where you going? Patriots, you can't stop Patrick Mahomes. Get ready. Jordan Lucas, I love that free safety play. Third string safety. Making plays. Get ready. Sunday night in front of the world. This is Shaggyshane saying, I'll see my Chiefs freaks next Sunday night. Until then, go Chiefs!